Good morning, friends. Standard 11, subject English, first language. Friends, yesterday one student reminded that she wants to learn knot making. Friends, knot making or summary. Both require the same mental skill. Whatever understanding you have to exercise in summary, 1/3, the same understanding you are required to exercise in knot making. Friends, while writing a summary, which you are familiar with since your standard 9th or 10th, you are very good familiar with 1/3. You say it 1/3 or summary. In the same way, a speech is given and you have to derive some points from it. It is called note making. So, you must write a note making in the same manner you write a summary. But what's the difference? Note making is point wise. Note making is point wise. Note making is point wise. You will use subtitles. And every subtitle will be explained. Note making is written in that way. One more thing student asked is paraphrase of a poem. Paraphrase of a poem. What means paraphrase of a poem? Paraphrase of a poem means writing what the poem conveys. Writing the meaning of the poem, message of the poem in a prose way, not in a poetic way, but the message the poet wants to convey through a poem is written in a prose way. We shall call it paraphrase of a poem. What the poem conveys, you can easily understand it. One more thing is there, information transfer. This kind of a picture, graph, chart, this kind of picture, graph or chart will be given and you are required to write 6 or 7 sentences based on it. You are required to write 6 or 7 sentences based on it. It's nothing new. Since you are 8 or 9 standard, you draw some diagram, you draw some figure of eye, of heart, like that, and you explain it underneath. In the same way, you will write only 6 to 7 sentences based on it. Okay? So, we are going to give the paper style for the forthcoming examination. Paper style for the forthcoming examination. Section A, comprehension, hornbill, two marks. Cross blanks, hornbill, two marks. Answer in 5 to 6 sentences. Answer in 5 to 6 sentences. Hornbill, three questions into 2 marks, total 6 marks. Answer in 5 to 6 sentences. Hornbill, 3 questions into 2 marks, total 6 marks. Section B, poem comprehension. Hornbill, two questions into 1 mark, total 2 marks. FOS, MCQ type, hornbill, 2 questions into 1 mark, total 2 marks. Answer in 5 to 6 sentences. Answer in 5 to 6 sentences. Hornbill, poem. Hornbill, one question into 2 marks, total 2 marks. Answer in 5 to 6 sentences. Snapshots. Two questions into 2 marks, total 4 marks. Okay, now section C, but before that, we are sending a photograph of this board work so that you can write it later also. We are sending a photograph of this board work. Now section C. Error correction. Error correction. 2 questions into 1 mark. Total 2 marks. Idioms and phrases. Idioms and phrases. Two questions into 1 mark. Total 2 marks. Punctuation. Two marks. Indirect speech. Two marks. Do as directed. Two marks. Section D. Paraphrase of a poem. Paraphrase of a poem. 4 marks. Note making. Three marks. Or note making will have alternative. Note making will have alternative. Or information transfer. Information transfer means what? Picture, chart, 6 sentences. What means information transfer? What means information transfer? picture or chart will be given and you are required to write 6 sentences based on it. It is called information transfer. Letter or email. Letter or email, 3 marks. We are sending a photograph of this boardwork. We are sending a photograph of this boardwork so that you can write it later also. Now, section E. Section E, report writing. Four marks. Report writing will have alternative or report writing or job application, report writing or job application, then after essay, six marks or speech. Okay, report writing or job application, essay or speech. Okay, one minute, Sandeep. We are sending a photograph of this boardwork. We are sending a photograph of section E. Okay. In this way, this paper style will be there in the examination. Okay. Almost everything you have done in your SSC, report you have written in SSC, email you have written in SSC, such kind of information transfer, writing 6 or 7 sentences you have done in your SSC. Almost everything you have done in your SSC. Okay. The things remaining to do is paraphrase, which was in SSC, but it was asked in option. So many of the students did not make efforts for it. So paraphrase you must go through once. Suppose one stanza is given here. One stanza is given here. The cardboard shows me. It is a poem. poem, the cardboard shows me how it was. How it was. When the two girl cousins, when the two girl cousins went pedaling, each one holding one of my mother's hands. One of my mother's hand. And she is the big girl, and she is the big girl, some 12 years or so. Some 12 years or so. Suppose this is the poem and we are going to write its paraphrase. First of all, read it and try to understand what does it conveys. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went pedaling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she is the big girl, some 12 years or so. So the age of mother is 12 years or so, and the word my mother. So it is right that the poet is writing about his or her mother. The poet is writing about his or her mother, and her mother is of age of 12 only. How it is possible? So cardboard must be the word for photograph. What does cardboard means? Here cardboard means photograph. Only then it is possible that the poet's mother is only of 12 years. Okay, no one has seen his or her mother of 12 years except in photographs. So the word cardboard clearly shows photograph. Now you can get what the poet conveys. The poet has seen his or her mother's photograph. The poet has seen his or her mother's photograph, and in that photograph, two more girls are with her mother. There are two more girls are with her mother. Each girl is holding her mother's hand on either side, because the cousins are smaller and the poet's mother is a big girl. How big? 12 years only. Okay, and one more word is here, pedaling. The boat in which we have to pedal it for keep it going. The boat in which we have to pedal it for keeping it going, it is called pedaling. So it is about water. We can say now, reading this stanza, that the poet has seen a photograph of her mother, and in that photograph, her mother is of 12 years only. They are on a beach holiday, and with her mother, there are two more girls who are holding either hand of her mother. This is the paraphrase of this poem. What the poem conveys, you can write anything like this. It is not that there is only one specific answer. You can write anything like this, what the poem conveys. Okay, so paraphrase of the poem is written in this way. You have to understand the poem and write it in your own words. Now, data interpretation. Here is a diagram. Here is a diagram. You can see it. Okay. Sanjay bhai, can we send this photograph to the students? We are sending a photograph of the diagram of which I am going to write 6 or 7 sentences. This photograph has been sent to you. Now, you have attempted this question in 9th and 10th. You have attempted this question in 9th and 10th. Such a diagram is given and you are writing 6 or 7 sentences based on it. But just for refreshing it, you are knowing very well how to write it, because you have attempted it in 9th and 10th. Photograph of that picture has been sent to you and I am going to write 6 or 7 sentences based on it. Study the following pie diagram showing the performance of the students of Standard 10 and write 7 to 8 sentences based on it. First sentence, this is a pie diagram. This is a pie diagram showing the performance of the students of Standard 10, of the students of Standard 10. Second, (73% students of English second language). SL means second language. We are learning first language, FL. Gujarati medium students are learning second language, SL. 73% of English SL have qualified third, it means 27% students of Gujarati medium have failed in English subject. It means 73% passed, means 27% failed. Mathematics 69%, means 31% students failed in mathematics. It means 69% passed. Next, Hindi and Gujarati have shown the best result except optional subjects. Social science is the second highest subject with 90% success. 7. %, 15% students have failed at science. 8 and last sentence. English is the most challenging subject for Gujarati medium students. Okay. In this way, we have to interpret this. This is a pie diagram showing the performance of students of standard 10. 73% students of English second language have qualified. It means 27% students of Gujarati medium have failed in English subject. 31% students failed at mathematics. It means 69% passed. Hindi and Gujarati have shown the best result except optional subject. Social science is the second highest subject with 90% success. 15 students have failed in science. English is the most challenging subject for Gujarati medium students. In this way, we have to write 6 or 7 sentences. Okay? Now, time is up and we are going for doubt or queries.